Target audience is 13 and up. How's it going, guys? Today we are talking about Galux. This is Mariah's Beyblade. So this Beyblade that you're seeing on screen is not official, so this was never released by Takara. The closest thing that you could get was a sort of salmon recolor that was released in a random booster, which is pretty hard to find, kind of rare, and not exactly the right color. But it is the closest thing you can get to an official Galux in terms of sort of colorway. But again, kind of a different mold than what Galux is actually shown in the anime, and then the Bit Beast is available in a Bit Chip random booster, and that's sort of the closest you can get. So again, the Beyblade that you're seeing on screen is created by Benchblade. So these are injection molded. They are created from a polymer, so they are not 3D printed, which is why they look pretty accurate to what a legitimate Beyblade looks like. So I'll have a link to his shop down in the description below. So Mariah, or Mao, is one of the first female characters that we interact with in the original Beyblade series. She's part of the White Tigers, which is Rei's former team members. So she is the sister of Lee from the White Tigers, who is the team leader of the White Tigers in Rei's absence. Her Bit Beast Galux was passed down through her tribe, and her skills are shown throughout the anime in various battles. She has a decent amount of screen presence. We first see her against a battle against Kai when they first meet the White Tigers. Kai sort of tries to dismiss her, but she ends up sort of proving herself as a skilled Beyblader in that first interaction.
Maybe you're scared because I'm a girl.
No!
Early on in the first season during the World Championship, the Blade Breakers go up against the White Tigers, and they end up pulling through. Obviously, the Blade Breakers have to win, but they end up pretty close with the White Tigers, and they form a sort of friendship. So the White Tigers are pretty prevalent. They end up showing up a lot in the series as a whole. During the Black Dronzer arc, when Kai ends up utilizing Black Dronzer, sort of going evil for a while, he does end up fighting Mariah again and ends up actually breaking her Beyblade. I'm not sure when or how she ended up replacing it, but she does end up getting a replacement for the Galux Beyblade, and she ends up with Galux returning to her as well. The first interactions with the White Tigers in the manga is a little bit different. They sort of meet out in the woods while they're traveling, while Tyson and Lee are being chased by dogs, and Mariah doesn't end up fighting Kai, which is was kind of a cool addition to the anime. The anime takes a lot of liberties adding different things and filler. They did a really good job with that as a whole, I would say.
Man, listen to that crowd! Yeah, she's got quite a following.
So needless to say, Mariah is a pretty popular character. She's one of the stronger female characters that we see in the show, and she's definitely one of the more prevalent characters. A lot of the other female characters that we see are there for a short period of time or for one season only, and Mariah is there sort of from start to finish because the White Tigers are pretty much always present, as they are the former team members of Rei. So in G-Revolution, Rei goes back to the White Tigers, and there's sort of some interaction there. Mariah ends up confessing actually her love for him during the series, and Rei says, well, I gotta focus on Beyblade. It doesn't end up sort of panning out until the very end of Bakuten Shoot, where it shows sort of post G-Revolution when they're older. They end up getting married and having a kid. Now, Beyblade Rising, the burst sort of continuation of Bakuten Shoot, she shows up as well, and they're sort of dating in that series, and I guess that's sort of like a linear progression to that point. Interestingly, in the Beyblade Rising manga, you actually do see burst versions of Galleon and Galux, but yet again, Takara decided not to release them, which is unfortunate. As much as she shows up in the show and is a strong character as she has a decent-sized fan base.
Chief, can you make it any more obvious that you have a huge crush on Mariah?
It's completely ridiculous!
So in the third season in G-Revolution, all of the Blade Breakers sort of split off and go back to their own original teams to try to sort of win the World Championships on their own, because up until this point, they've all sort of won together, so they all want a chance to sort of fight each other one-on-one and see who's actually the best. So Ray ends up going back to the White Tigers, and we see the White Tigers sort of throughout the World Championship in the 3rd season. Unfortunately, they do end up getting eliminated, but we do see a couple matches with Mariah involved during the 3rd season as well. So according to some old fan magazines, there's actually some debate on whether or not Ray should have been able to join the Blade Breakers to begin with because he was Chinese. So Kai technically is Japanese. Max is technically half Japanese, so he should have Japanese citizenship. And then Tyson, of course, is Japanese. But Ray is Chinese, so should he have been able to join the Japanese team? I don't know. I'm interested to know your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments whether or not you think Ray should have actually been able to join the Blade Breakers. So in terms of the Galux Beyblade, it's kind of disappointing that it never got released. It's very similar to Galleon. I will give it that. They could have just given an actual pink re-release with the Galux stickers, and I think that would have been fine. But actually tracking down the sort of salmon recolor for the random booster and the bit chip sticker from the bit chip random boosters is not easy, and it's kind of expensive. So if you guys do want to get a Galux, again, I will have a link to Bench Blade's shop down in the comments. I think these are really, really cool. The quality is really nice on these. Definitely a cool collector's piece. I'm glad that X has gotten to a point where not only do we have like a ton of female characters, but they're actually releasing the Beyblades, because for a long time, Takara just wouldn't release them, or they would lock them behind random boosters, and they were really hard to get or unobtainable altogether. So I am glad to start seeing that. I hope one day they do sort of, I don't know, maybe some sort of re-release or special set or something to get some of the female characters they never released. I think that would be really cool. I would love to have sort of an actual legitimate Galux instead of just a recolor or, you know, something fan produced. I do think this is probably the best version that you can get currently, but it would be cool to have something official. So anyway, let me know what you think of this Beyblade. Galux is definitely one of my favorite designs in terms of Bit Beasts, and overall I really like the aesthetic in general. The White Tigers is definitely one of my favorite teams. I was really glad to see the Zuganic team in Beyblade X. It really reminds me of sort of a spiritual successor continuation of the White Tigers in terms of theming. Really a big fan of that team, and I'm interested to see where they go with that one as well. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hit the like for the algorithm. Again, drop a comment letting me know what you think of Galux as a whole. If you guys want to support the channel, feel free to check out the Max Snacks t-shirt. This is based off of my cat. You guys see my end screens a lot, just to help support the channel. We've also got a Patreon down below, which also thank you to all of the patrons, and thank you also to everyone that just watches in general. I appreciate the support regardless, and I will see you all in the next one.
A little chewy, crunchy snack.